This video will look at my single leg squat prior to the 3D soleus stretching matrix. First, we will look at my single leg squat from the left lateral view. I will first take measurements from the starting phase, which is here while I am standing straight up with a forward lean. At my ankle, you can see I have 157 degrees of dorsiflexion. Then, at my knee, you can see I have 182 degrees of knee flexion. Then, at my hip, you can see I have 179 degrees of hip flexion. Next, I will take measurements from the ending phase, which is the bottom of my squat, right about here, when all three of my joints, the hip, the knee, and the ankle, have stopped flexing. Here at my ankle, you can see I have 124 degrees of dorsiflexion. Then at my knee, I have 89 degrees of knee flexion. And at my hip, I have about 105 degrees of hip flexion. Next, we will look at my single leg squat from the right lateral view. I will first take my measurements from the starting phase again, beginning at the ankle. At the ankle, I have about 128 degrees of dorsiflexion. At the knee, I have 166 degrees of knee flexion. Then at the hip, I have 170 degrees of hip flexion. Next, I will take measurements from the ending phase, which is right about there. Again, beginning at the ankle. At my ankle, we have 100 degrees of dorsiflexion. At the knee, we have 87 degrees of knee flexion. And at the hip, we have 92 degrees of hip flexion.